Today was another family law day for me because I had a divorce in court. And just like every other day, we get to court and we try to see how we can make the best of our case. The interesting thing about today's matter was that my client was a lawyer, all right, who is also into litigation, so he understands the court system. Today is April 18th, 2023. And today was when we were able to take his oral evidence in that particular case, right? And that case was filed January 2022. So for more than 1 year, we are unable to go into trial, to be able to hear the petitioner's story. Yes, many times when I tell people that you could actually stay in court for a divorce matter for 3 years and above, they think that, hey, why will you say that? I really need to do this and I really need to do that. I get that, because most of the time what happens is that people don't come for divorce, or unless maybe when they already have someone that they want to marry and there's already a wedding date. And that's why I tell people again and again, please, if you have moved out from a marriage, if you have moved out from that particular relationship, and you're very sure that you don't want to go back to it, and you're very sure you don't want to reconcile with your spouse, do your divorce immediately. It will not be cheaper in the future, right? If you do not do it now, you still have to go through a long process later. There are many factors that determine how long your case will last in court. And now I want to try to see how I can explain everything one after the other. Remember, this is not legal advice, right? This is just me sharing my experiences with you as a family law lawyer and also as a therapist. So if you need proper advice on that particular matter, I recommend that you speak with a lawyer. So thank you so much and welcome to your family lawyer with yours sincerely, Earl. All right, everything we just do here is to help you understand family law better and also understand how it affects you, right? So let's go straight into it. There are many things that determine how long your case will last in court. Number one, how long it will take to get all the documents that you need. There are some people who want to file for divorce right now and they don't even have the marriage certificate. They do not have a copy of it. So what that means is that we have to apply, first of all, for the certified true copy, the CTC of that certificate, because it is that certificate that actually determines whether the court has jurisdiction over that divorce matter or not. So in a situation where there is no divorce certificate, the court may not be able to proceed unless you're coming up to say, oh, we can't find the certificate again. And by the time you go to the marriage registry, they also come up with the fact that maybe their records have been destroyed. Of course, you can still get it from the federal records. And that's why these days you are usually advised that you should record your marriage online. You are given a card to record it online, to upload your certificate online. Okay, now that is the first thing, right? So getting the marriage certificate can also cause delay, because sometimes to get this certified true copy may take a week or more. From there, your lawyer may need, for my office, for example, we take 5 to 7 working days to prepare divorce petition. And the reason is simple: we have other matters that we are attending to. So if it is not an emergency, right, it takes us 5 to 7 working days to prepare such legal court processes, right? Okay, now, so you are not talking about the time your lawyer will need to prepare that document. Then you are asking yourself, do you know the whereabouts of your spouse? Many people do not know the whereabouts of their spouse. And because they have been away from that relationship for a long time, some of them cannot even tell clearly the details of their spouse's family house. And sometimes their spouses may have changed jobs, changed cities, so they can't even trace them or find them. That could also cause a delay, because by the time we are filing, after we are done filing that process, we will now have to do something else, right? And what is that thing else we have to do? We have to now apply for substituted means of service to be able to serve this person through substituted means, either through courier, through email, through WhatsApp, through family, through friends, right? And now that application alone, before it comes up, can take more than 1 month, depending on how busy it is. Let's do and come to court, right? We have prepared your papers and we are going to court to file. When we file matters in court, I'm going to use major cities as a case study. I understand that you may be able to get it faster in community courts, right? Not community courts now, I mean high courts in some rural communities, right? Those rural communities that may not have many cases. But now I'm using cities as case studies, cities and major towns, because the average judge in a city like Ibadan may have up to about 1,000 cases that is attending to. So let's use that. So your papers are ready. We have the certified copy of your document and we file, right? So by the time we are filing it, it will go from the court registry to the administrative judge. The administrative judge will assign it to a particular court, right? A particular court number. That court will look at their own diary and their own schedule to know when is the earliest time they can attend to your case. Now, the process of moving from the registry to a particular court can take more than 2 weeks, depending on the state and depending on the court, right? And now, by the time it gets to the court finally, there are some judges that don't like attending to more than 30 cases in a day. So imagine a judge that has about 1,000 cases to handle. That judge may already have maybe 30 cases in the diary for next month, the month of May 2023. So for them to accommodate you, they have to look for a space to accommodate you. So from the day you file the case to the day the case comes up in court, may actually take up to about 3 months. In some cases, I've seen a case where it took more than 4 months because of how busy the court is. I've seen a case where it took 1 month or more, right? I usually tell people plan for 2 months and plan for 2 to 3 months thereabouts. Remember, okay, we're still going through the process. So by the time the matter comes up and you fight the matter, right, your spouse has the time, gave it to he or her to respond. Right? Until that time elapses, you may not be able to continue. And some people can be very mischievous. They just keep on coming and start making different applications for extension of time to be able to do this, to be able to do that. Now, by the time that is done, you go into hearing, and from hearing, you go into your addresses and so your judgment. Again, do not forget that from the day the judgment is given, which is the decree nisi, to the day you can remarry or you can fully say, yes, I'm fully divorced from this person, needs 3 months, right? So let's assume that your matter comes up for the first time 3 months after you filed it up. Let's assume it even comes up 1 month after you file it, like a month after you file it. And after filing it right now, the day the matter comes up, your case is straightforward, it's not contentious, both parties show up and they say they are not, the facts are okay, they haven't wanted to settle and the rest, they have agreed to terms and all of that. And most courts will require that the petitioner goes into the witness box and lead evidence, right? Now, from the day you lead your evidence, the judge may not be able to give you a bench judgment that day, right? Because the judge may still want to go and read the documents vis-a-vis the oral evidence presented to it before giving judgment. So the court may have to take an adjournment to give you judgment. And if you just want to write an extensive judgment, then be sure that you are going to get the minimum of 1 month for you to get that judgment. Sometimes it can be shorter, but averagely, let's just say 1 month. It can be up to 2 months thereabouts, right? Some judges could decide to just give you a bench judgment, just write your judgment there. Now, from the day your judgment is given, the divorce is still not yet mature. You still need to count 3 months, right? You still need to count 3 months, about 90 days, before you can now say, oh, I'm fully divorced, oh, I can remarry, oh, I can say I'm free now, whatsoever you want to say regarding it. Now, these are just the processes. There are many things that can cause delay, and I am bringing this from my 12 years experience as a family law lawyer. Number one is the fact that all the information that your lawyer needs to be able to do that divorce, you are unable to bring everything at once. Sometimes people are unable to get some certain information and it becomes one or two problems. Another thing becomes you are unable to know where your spouse lives so that the spouse can be served immediately. If not, you have to come back to court to be asking for an order for subsistence means, which can take more than 3 months out of your divorce process, right? Then you're not talking about the court you're filing in. What is the situation of the courts? Like take, for example, the things that delayed matters. From last year, ending of last year to this year, most courts were focused on pre-election matters, right? We know in the first part of this year, we had to deal with, the first quarter, we had to deal with our state and federal government elections. And so by the time we're entering the second quarter, which is April, we had Easter, and now Salah is coming, right? We are having May 1st that is coming, which is Workers' Day. We have Handing Over Day, which is May 29th. Now, these things also affect the delay. Most judges will take out 2 weeks for holiday for Easter in April, right? Most courts will give 2 weeks for holiday, which means in the month of April, they may have just barely 2 weeks to work. Now, imagine a judge who has about 30 to 35 cases to handle every day. How much of time and attention will that judge be having to give to your case? Will that judge be having to give to your matter? So instead of the judge doing everything at once and everything as they go, the judge may keep on asking you to take adjournments for different things. I'll give you a classical example. Today in court, right, at about 1:30 p.m., we were still in court. Now, this is a judge who is doing long handwriting, which means for everything lawyers are saying, for everything litigants are saying, this judge is using longhand to take notes, right? And that's such a judge you have like 30 cases. How do you want that person to cope? So there were cases today that after the petitioner or whoever it is gave evidence, the judge will ask for an adjournment for cross-examination because I still have many other cases that I need to handle and I've not yet handled them, right? And I cannot spend all the day attending to your matter. I remember one classical case that I did in Ogun State. Why was this so interesting? Because the magistrate was able to give me time to do everything. It was a criminal matter. We took 4 witnesses in 1 day. We took an application for no case submission. And see, this thing was just sweet. A time came, the magistrate told me, all right, if you can wait, I can give you my judgment before 5 p.m. I said, okay, I can wait, right? But for other judges, their courts may become so busy that they will not be able to do all of that, right? And look at it. This is April. There are courts that the next free dates you can have is October. Some courts, the next free date you can have is November. And so that's why the place where you are filing your divorce also matters. If your lawyer is saying, let us fight in so-so place because he thinks that place will be faster, you may want to heed his counsel. But I don't understand that the farther your lawyer goes, the more expensive your case, the more money you're going to be spending on your lawyer and on the litigation. But now, so by the time we are getting to July, judges will go on judges' vacation. By the time they are coming back from vacation, they will have judges' conference around September. Ending of September, first week to second week of October, many courts will be doing their new legal year celebrations and all of that. So these are some of the factors that causes delay. Yes, I've seen somebody who said he got a divorce, especially when it is not contentious. My colleagues in the office, our office, and people around us, yes, can get non-contentious divorce in 3 months. I've seen where people got it in 3 months. But remember that even after the judgment, you still need another 3 months for it to be mature, right? And that was because it was non-contentious. But if it's contentious, like for example, people are dragging property, like there's property settlements to be done. If there's maintenance, maybe the woman is asking for maintenance or the man is asking for maintenance. If there are custody issues, right, these issues can cause serious delay in your divorce. So if you come to meet me now and tell me how long does divorce last in Nigeria cost, I cannot categorically tell you. I'll have to look at the nature of your case, ask you where do you intend to file it, and be able to give a prediction. Nothing but a prediction, because you could file for it today and the next month that particular judge is going on vacation. Trust me, your case will not be transferred to another person, because as the law sees it, divorce is actually not it's not an emergency. Yes, other ancillary applications may be transferred, like the application for substituted service, like when it comes to maintenance for kids where there are kids involved, when it comes to restraining orders, when one particular partner is stalking the other, or there's violence here and there. Yes, that can happen. However, usually they may not transfer it, because there's no need of people being in a hurry, especially in all those cases where you guys have only been separated for more than 1 year. Like, what's now the hurry? Yes, I know, back end, we know that the reason why you're in a hurry is because you have found someone else that you want to marry, and you need this divorce to be able to marry that person so that you are not guilty of bigamy. But then, that is why I gave the counsel from the very beginning, that if you have walked and moved from a marriage right now, and you're very sure that you don't want to go back to that marriage, and you're already opening your heart to other choices, to other options, to other lovers, please start your divorce. Start your divorce immediately, because it may take you more than 1 year for you to get that divorce. My name is Earl, and I'm all right. Thank you so much for following me. Next week, Tuesday, I'll be back here on Your Family Lawyer. Remember that everything that I share here is not legal advice. Yes, I'm a lawyer, and so if you want to consult with me on any legal matter, you could just send me a DM or use the phone number showing on the screen. But then always ensure that whatsoever you read online, you get to consume as content on social media is not your legal advice, because cases are different, facts are different, intricacies are not the same. Thank you so much for following. See you next week, Tuesday again, 7 p.m. You rock.